12 prohibited things in Brazil and weird things that shocked the whole world. Football, fiery dances, and wonderful tropical landscapes are impressive things that Brazil possesses. Although the attraction of this country is great, you must really consider before deciding to visit this South American country. Because in addition to the wonderful things we just mentioned, Brazil also scares many tourists because of its many strange laws and weird things that I think the faint of heart cannot overcome. Number 12. It's forbidden to use the OK symbol. In the culture of many Western countries, especially in the US, using the thumb and index finger to join to form a circle, with the remaining 3 fingers pointing up, is a common action. It helps inform others that you are OK. However, this is considered one of the taboos in Brazil that you should avoid. People in some Mediterranean and Latin American countries, including Brazil, consider the action a vulgar and obscene gesture because it symbolizes the penis. In addition, the sign devil is not used in this country. This sign is often used by rock music fans as a symbolic image of the devil, with the palm of the hand clenched while the index and pinky fingers are raised. They look like devil's horns. However, in this country, they consider this sign to mean that their wife has been unfaithful. This can cause misunderstandings and even lead to locals attacking you. Therefore, if you have a habit of using these fingerprints, you should remove them before going to Brazil. Number 11. It's forbidden to go to Snake Island. Blessed by nature for beautiful scenery, however, Ilha de Queimada Grande Island in Brazil is the leading habitat of the world's most venomous snakes. Ilha de Queimada Grande Island, located off the coast of Brazil, also known as Snake Island, is one of the most dangerous lands in the world. The island is quite large, about 430,000 m2, with an average density of 5 poisonous snakes per 1 m2 of land. The land is a terror for fishermen passing through here. Because there are no predators on the ground, the snakes stranded on Snake Island reproduce uncontrollably. According to estimates, on the island there are about 2,000 to 4,000 golden spearhead vipers and many other types of extremely poisonous snakes. You need to know that a bite from a yellow-headed cobra can kill an adult with many symptoms such as pain, swelling, vomiting, bruising, internal bleeding, kidney failure, brain hemorrhage, and leading to serious muscle necrosis after only 2 hours. Danger has left Snake Island uninhabited. The family of the lighthouse keeper on the island was the last person to appear on the island in 1920. It is said that snakes snuck into the house through the windows and killed the entire ill-fated family. According to legend, snakes first appeared here because of pirates. To protect the safety of buried treasures on the island, ancient pirates released many poisonous snakes here. However, this is still a big question, because when the owner of the above treasure returns, they also have to face a nightmare called poisonous snakes. Because of the level of danger, the Brazilian government has banned people from setting foot on this island. The government strictly controls visits to Ilha de Queimada Grande. Currently, only the Navy in this country and researchers or videographers are allowed to come here to maintain the lighthouse, as well as learn about the pristine ecosystem, extremely unique on this dangerous island. Number 10. Is it forbidden to show discomfort with food? Not every food in the world you can eat, especially when you come to a new place. However, even if it is difficult to eat, you should not show your unpleasant attitude because Brazilians hate this. In Brazilian culture, they are very respectful of all food. In addition, people in this South American country are taboo about using their hands to eat food. They use knives and forks to eat. Their eating habit is to hold a fork in their left hand and a knife in their right hand. For adults, eating ice cream and chewing gum on the street while walking is considered rude. If you want to eat sandwiches, hamburgers, pizza, and fried chicken, you must use paper towels to pick up the food and even use a knife and fork to cut the pizza. Number 9. It's forbidden to flaunt your wealth. You may not know that Brazil has one of the highest crime rates in the world. Therefore, showing off personal assets and showing off wealth is considered one of the taboos in Brazil that you should absolutely avoid. When going out, keep all valuable jewelry such as rings and necklaces at home. With a phone or camera, you should keep it in your pocket and keep it carefully to prevent bad guys. In some areas in Brazil, tourists don't even dare to take out their phones to make contact. There are a lot of crimes here, especially robberies. Therefore, it is important to always be careful and avoid showing off valuables in public places, especially in areas with low security levels. Always focus on your own safety. Don't attract unnecessary attention by showing off your possessions or valuables when you visit public places in Brazil. Number 8. Do not enter the slums. This is the most important rule to keep you safe when coming to this country, because the slums here are controlled by illegal criminal gangs. The fact that a stranger suddenly wandered into their territory seemed like a big threat, and you will most likely encounter danger. On YouTube today, there are still many videos with titles like "Images that cannot be shown on TV," and most of those images come from Brazil, accurately portraying the face of this multi-ethnic country. Countless videos of hostage kidnappings end in bloody images where the only solution is for the police to find an opportunity to shoot a sniper at the perpetrator's death spot, the center of the forehead. But the police cannot always shoot so accurately, and if there is a mistake, the hostage is the one who suffers the worst consequences. But in Brazil, that solution is extremely normal, and the Brazilian police force is always complained of being terribly incompetent and corrupt. Stopping cars with guns and shooting victims in broad daylight. Rob them is also a common occurrence in Brazil, as if people had to brush their teeth when they wake up. At the same time, Brazilian police are just as dangerous as that country's criminals when they are ready to stop a normal person in the middle of the night, take off their shoes, take a beating and whip them several times on the soles of their feet, and then harass him for some money before letting the subject go in panic. They cling to very simple excuses. To ensure security, we must control all night walkers in case they are criminals in the slums. The mysterious Amazon forest. The Amazon is the world's largest tropical forest with an area of 6,700,000 km2, of which 60% is located in Brazil. It seems like you need to take a few survival courses before coming to this South American country, because if you accidentally get lost in the Amazon forest, only those skills can save your life, because even if you armed to the teeth, it is difficult to guarantee your life when in the Amazon rainforest alone. The first problem you have to face is not food or water, but the natives here. There are many mysterious and dangerous tribes living in the forest. They are not friendly. Any foreigners who trespass into the area they live in will become prey. Even though their weapons were rudimentary, their knowledge of the terrain also made those carrying guns and bullets terrified and kill. In addition to humans, the legendary creatures of this forest will also easily take your life. Mosquitoes, ants, giant spiders, jaguars, anacondas, and piranhas will always put you in danger. In the Amazon rainforest, there is also a giant spider whose leg span alone is up to 24 cm long, enough to fit on your face. With this size, it can attack even a bird. Although it only likes to eat insects and does not eat human flesh, you should not touch it because it is poisonous. Many people are afraid of ants and piranhas in the Amazon rainforest. In reality, they do not actively attack like in the movies, but when you are healthy, a bleeding scratch can stimulate the killer instinct of these creatures. This immediately. The real horrors are still large animals such as jaguars. It resembles a large cat, second only in size to lions and tigers. Its bite force and speed will kill you in an instant. Although there are not many jaguars in the Amazon rainforest, once you encounter one, your life can only depend on God's will. You need to know that this is the only cat species that specializes in hunting crocodiles. As for anacondas, I probably don't need to remind you much about how dangerous they are. The best advice is not to go to Amazon if you are not a researcher. Stay in the cities and have fun with the people there. It will be better for you. Number 6. A land of only women. Single guys, take out a pen and paper and write down this address. Right away, I'm sure it will be paradise for you. No matter how long you've been lonely, here you will definitely find your other half. My life. We would like to introduce the town of Noiva do Cordoroa, where there are many beautiful young Brazilian women, inviting single men to live because most of the local men are married. The town of Noiva do Cordoroa in southeastern Brazil is almost exclusively female. It is located about 90 km from the capital Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais state, and is famous for its many beautiful women. When mentioning the town of Noiva do Cordoroa in Brazil, most people think of a place full of beautiful and cheerful girls. This place is famous as more than 90% of the people are women. Of the 600 women, about 300 are of working age and unmarried. Here, men over 18 years old will go out to make a living and only a few come home on weekends. Women were forced to shoulder the town's work themselves due to the lack of men. The situation caused some girls to call for single men to come live. In the town of Nova do Cordillera, the people are almost feminist. Women are responsible for all areas of life, from farming to construction, planning, or religion. Together they built a prosperous town without the need for men. Of course, there are still some men living here, but the number is very small and they don't do any important work. Some people are husbands, but only appear at home a few times a year. But in the end, women still long for a husband to share everything with. After information about the town thirsty for a husband was published in the media, many boys expressed their excitement. However, it's not because they're unmarried that the girls in Nova do Cordero are easygoing. They also have strict conditions set for their other half. Men who come to town looking for wives also need to know how to wash dishes, do laundry, cook, and clean the toilet. Here, everything must be equal. To this day, the town of Nova do Cordero is still one of the most special places in the world, with old women who have never kissed anyone. Being late is considered a beautiful culture. Surely you remember the crazy feeling of having to wait for someone during appointments. Someone who is late makes everyone hate them. But in Brazil, if you are the one who arrives early, you are the one who is discriminated against by society. A writer writing about Brazil once says, "People who are in a hurry will feel miserable when they come to Brazil." This is not wrong because local people often do not show up on time for appointments and always arrive very late. BBC reporter Lucy Bryson had an unforgettable experience when she was invited to a party in Rio de Janeiro. Lucy arrived at the host's house a few minutes after the invited time and was surprised because the living room was still littered with unpicked food bags. The host appeared after taking a shower and jokingly said, "I'm not ready yet." Due to their leisurely life is a beach attitude, combined with the congested traffic situation in Brazil, or simply stopping to talk to a friend in the middle of the street. Locals do not expectations, also do not appreciate punctuality and communication. Party plans are often affected by the above situation, so the party host considers it a polite attitude to hold the party later than the party opening time. That has become an unwritten law in Brazil, most clearly shown in the city of Rio de Janeiro. However, the Brazilians also draw a line in arriving late. They will try to arrive on time when going to meetings and business meetings because it is not part of social events, festivals, or meeting friends, where they just arrive at any time and are at least 30 minutes late, invited. Nudist beaches. Brazilian authorities are very strict with acts considered harassing or obscene, but they let nudist beach operate extremely comfortably. Brazil has up to 8 official nudist beaches scattered in 5 states: Paraíba, Bahia, Espírito Santo, Rio de Janeiro, and Santa Catarina. The most famous is Praia de Tambaba, the oldest nudist beach Alain naturalism since 1991, with a very eye-catching landscape. Many tourists seem quite strange when going to nudist beach in Brazil. However, that is quite normal for people here. Nude beaches are often places where people can feel comfortable being naked. However, attention to privacy and respect is important. Don't take photos or videos of others without consent. Respect other people's privacy as you would want to earn theirs. Number 3. Drink beer alone. In Brazilian culture, drinking beer is often associated with social connection and interaction with others. Drinking beer is often seen to create a space to communicate, share, and connect with friends, family, or colleagues. They are party lovers and cannot drink alcohol alone. For them, enjoying beer often comes with sharing stories and creating a vibrant social environment. With a bottle of beer, about 700 ml, Brazilians often pour out a small cup for themselves and pour out other cups to invite people around them, even strangers. It seems that this cultural feature makes Brazil become the world's leading beer and alcohol consumer. The celebration of events such as carnival, festivals, and other social events is often accompanied by the consumption of beer and wine, creating a fun and enjoyable atmosphere for everyone. The combination of a strong social culture and the diversity of the beer market has contributed to the popularity and consumption of beer and wine in Brazil. Passionate about music and dancing, Brazilians were born to dance to music. That is the affirmation of every visitor after coming to this country. Brazilian music is extremely diverse and colorful, just like the culture of this country. Taking samba music as an example, no one immediately thinks of Brazil when seeing those enchanting dances. The samba dance always appears in carnival festivals, an international symbol of Brazil. Placed in the world music genre, samba music is a blend of upbeat melodies and skillful dance moves of dancers, immediately attracting the audience's attention from the first seconds. The history of traditional Brazilian music is filled with blurred lines between elements such as the sacred and the profane. Country and city, indigenous culture, Portuguese Luso-Hispanic culture, and African culture, or between traditional art and contemporary music. However, it is this interaction that has helped Brazilian music have a completely unique and unmistakable character. And this difference is most clearly defined with samba music. Besides samba, there are other types of dances such as Forró X and Capoeira, a form of dance that combines martial arts and music with high performance. Dancing is not only for entertainment but also a way to express and celebrate Brazilian traditions, festivals, and cultural pride. For local people, dancing is also an indispensable activity of daily life, expressing the joy, excitement, and friendliness of Brazilian culture. Number 1. Wait, it seems that nature pays a lot of attention to this South American country. In addition to a snake island and an Amazon forest, Brazil also possesses one of the strangest phenomena in the world, the Pororoca wave. Appearing only once every 2 years between February and March, waves 6 to 9 meters high, lasting for dozens of minutes, wipe out everything in their path. From houses, trees, to animals. Not a tsunami, not a toxic wave, but the destructive power of long waves is not inferior to the two friends above. Twice a year, between February and March, the Atlantic Ocean angrily creates waves rolling up the Amazon River, Brazil creating the longest, greatest wave on Earth. This phenomenon is called Pororoca by Brazilians, starting from the tides in the Atlantic Ocean when approaching the edge of the river. In fact, this phenomenon occurs in rivers with shallow water, narrow and funnel-shaped river mouths. The tide passing through the shallow water at the river mouth will create waves up to 6m or even 9m high and last for about 30 minutes. At dawn, tourists and surfers can hear the hissing of monkeys and the dull growls of other animals, signaling high tide. When it reached land, it almost destroyed everything from houses to roadside trees. However, there are still many people who like to experience the feeling of danger by surfing on these waves. While tides are usually stable and occur periodically, estuarine tidal waves are a very difficult phenomenon to predict. The occurrence of this phenomenon depends on a number of factors, among which wind and river depth can vary between seasons. In recorded history, the Pororoca wave that took place in 2003 lasted up to 37 minutes over a distance of 50 km, causing heavy damage to a large area and immediately causing people in this area to fall into poverty, housing and poverty. Thank you for taking the time to explore the strange and special things in Brazil with me. Let me know what you think about this special country below in the comments section.